Welcome to the Jones Factor. I'm Braden Jones, and I'm here with Chase Hudson, political analyst for Fox. So over the last few months, we've been analyzing the Kentucky Senate race between Allison Grimes and Mitch McConnell. Originally, Chase, you said that there was going to be a 7-point increase and win for McConnell, but after the election, McConnell won by 15 points. What do you think happened?
Well, 2014 is an interesting year because we have about 20% less turnout than we did in 2012, which was a presidential election year. In 2012, the bias was clearly against the Democrats in the polls. However, things may have turned this year. Republicans clearly have superior turnout machine this year. The undecideds may have broke to the Republicans this year, and it may not have been as hard to reach Democrats on the phones as it usually is.
So speaking of elections, would you say that this is a critical election? What does your expertise say?
Well, we haven't had one since 32, and there are a couple factors that might lead someone to believe that there was, like the rise of the Tea Party in 2010 and higher voter turnout in 2012. I'm weary to call this one anything like a critical election because the 2016 map is stacked way in favor of the Democrats, and I don't see the Republicans having unified party control for very long.
Well, Chase, thanks for being here. Let's turn it over to Kenton to talk about the House.
Thanks, Braden. For Kentucky's 5th District, incumbent Hal Rogers defeated challenger Kenneth Stepp 73.8% to 21.7%, a very wide margin just as we predicted. Rogers rode the anti-Obama wave that characterized the Republican elections around the nation to improve on his 2012 margin by 0.4 of a point. This wider margin helped show the low Democratic turnout in the state, further explaining the failure of the Grimes campaign for the Senate. Rogers comfortably maintained his seat and remains a chair of the House Appropriations Committee, focusing on national security, and Stepp goes back to practicing law in Manchester, Kentucky. This maintaining election preserved the Republican majority in the House and will allow for increased party polarization and a higher number of procedural votes on the floor. Now let's see some commentary from the field.
Ma'am, can I ask you a question about the recent midterms?
Sure.
Can you tell me about how this race fits in with Kentucky political history?
I would say it follows it pretty well. You know, this is Mitch's 5th election, and we're really glad that he's, going to be in there, a strong Republican force, and bring back jobs.
Great, and can you tell me about how this race is similar or different from other campaigns ran around the country this year?
You know, I don't think it's an outlier. I think the results speak for themselves. A lot of the candidates, including Tom Tillis, ran on an anti-Obama campaign, and, it really speaks to our disappointment in the president, and it was really just inevitable.
And larger lessons.
Well, across the nation, Republicans did exceedingly well in both the House and the Senate. They ran an anti-Obama campaign against its failed policies.
Yeah, this really holds true throughout history. You look at the 6-year, it's predictable, but the Republicans did win in a big way.
Yeah, and the incumbency advantage played a big role in Kentucky.
Absolutely. An 11% approval rating in Congress, but we saw 96.4% of congressmen get reelected.
However, be prepared for gridlock until the next election.
Let's hope we can get something done.